Hi, this is Laurie Yoon from D2 Branch. This is my post vlog for Albatross Level Lesson 1. For this lesson, I asked the students to design a book cover of a memoir for an imaginary famous person, which was then to be presented to a publishing company.
Make a book cover. So you need to make a title. Number 2, what do we see here?
Picture.
Very good. He also put 3 images up here. What are those?
The thing that is related to him.
Excellent. You are going to design this, but you must incorporate these 3 elements. Special opportunity, family history, career highlight.
I asked my students to illustrate the special opportunities, the family history, and the career highlights through symbols and pictures on their book cover. I also asked the students to create a portfolio page, and this was much like the portfolio page in Ideate before the first chapter. So this basically just explains who the memoir is for, what they're doing, what they own, and where they live.
You are also going to do a portfolio page. So just like this. We read this earlier. I will ask for about 3 to 4 sentences. You must tell me, number 1, who he is. Number 2, what does he do or own? What company does he own or where does he work? Okay. Number 3, where does he live? What country? What city? Okay.
And finally, I asked the students to create a contents page. So this basically just outlined the different chapters within their memoir.
So contents page. I would ask minimum 3. If you do more than that, excellent. They can relate to these 3, or like we brainstormed, if you want to talk about their success, jobs, challenges, main events, you can make those. But the thing is, when you present this, you have to give me at least 2 to 3 sentence explanations. So 3 pages, there's usually 3 people per group. You guys will have to do a little bit more work. You may use S-Note, or you may use Polaris Office, or I can give you paper and crayons, okay?
The most popular application that was used was S-Note. And within S-Note, one tip that I would recommend is students downloading backgrounds. They can lay this behind their pages and it looks a lot more visually appealing, especially for the cover page. The projects as a whole went pretty well. I was quite surprised, especially being the first day. I was nervous with having to do the icebreaker and potentially having new students, things like this. But most of my groups were on board and they knew exactly what to do. My groups were divided into 3 group members, which worked quite well because I had 3 pages and each student had their own page. So again, the book cover, the portfolio page, and the contents page. This, I think, was quite easy for the students to complete on their own. Each task they had already brainstormed in the personal project pages, so I'll explain that. I changed the personalized section of the personal projects a little bit. So on the first personal project, page 4, it originally said, in your own life, what special opportunities have you experienced? I changed this. I added a media card and I asked them, brainstorm the special opportunities that your imaginary famous person had to become successful. And they would do this as a group and then select the best ones or combine the best ones. Then the second personal project on page 6, it originally said, if you were writing your own memoir, what aspects of your family history would you include or avoid? So again, I added another media card with my changed prompt and it says, brainstorm the aspects of your imaginary famous person's family history. This is to be included in his or her memoir. Finally, on page 11, the collaborative project on the Ideate section, I tweaked it. So originally, again, it said, collaborate with your group members to come to an agreement on your choice of a successful person for whom you will write their memoir and list the specific aspects of their life that you will include in the memoir. It's then sectioned off into the 3 sections, special opportunities, family history, and career highlights. Now, since they already brainstormed the special opportunities on page 4 and then family history on page 6, but they have not yet brainstormed about the career highlights. In this section, I decided to utilize the Ideate for only the career highlights. So I added another media card. Another thing that worked well was providing media cards with the technical terms from within the reading. I screenshot the terms from page 16, and I mentioned this all in the pre-vlog, but some technical terms that I brought up were operating system, software, programming language, Altair Basic, and Moore's Law. This got them to not only see what they looked like, but also there was the current definition, and it just kind of helped us to have a discussion going, and it got the students to understand better what was going on within Paul Allen's life. Also, looking at the timeline on page 15 of CSLP book with the various images, this was a really good page to have on the TV and discuss about Paul Allen's life and predict about what we're going to learn in his memoir. One of the issues that I had was being rushed for time. So this is something I already predicted, and still I had a little bit of issue. Near the end of class, I had a lot of technical issues with my dongle not working, and I actually had a hardline HDMI cable that also wasn't working. So these are kind of things that slightly unpredictable. So the biggest tip is prepare enough time. I actually let my students have about 25-30 minutes before the end of class to present, and I only had 3 groups. But still, with all these technical issues, I didn't have enough time to have a final evaluation discussion where we go over each student's presentations and we discuss the things that went well and the things that could be improved on. So for future teachers, provide at least 40 minutes. This gives you enough time to have a discussion and then also accommodate for any technical glitches. A final tip to save teachers time before going home. When uploading videos and you have multiple groups, it takes a lot of time, especially when you have 2 C2 classes in a row. So what I've started to do is teach my students how to connect to the dongle, show them how to use AllShareCast. When the students go up, they should be able to connect to the dongle by themselves, and then as the teacher, what you can be doing is uploading the previous presentation on the CSLP recorder. This way it's easier for you to remember who the group members were, and then you can tag them to be shared. And also, it's just faster. You'll be uploading it while the students are connecting, and the other students, they're just kind of preparing to be going up next or evaluating for the group that had just presented. So using your time most efficiently is key, I think. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed their first week of Albatross, and I will check in again when it is week 3.